Hello. It's been a while since I've made a video over here. We are going to an optional trial fight for Endwalker. It's near the end of the Endwalker kind of patch content. The Gilded Araya. There seems to be different ways to pronounce that on the internet. So, there we go. This is part of the Hildebrand quest line, which starts all the way from the beginning of A Realm Reborn. And so you'll have to go through the entire quest line to get to this fight. So here we've got a circle stage, and it looks like there's a fence here, so you can't fall off the stage or anything. And I don't think I recall anyone getting punted off the stage. Alright, starting off, we got main tank pulling the boss north, just for any possible tank cleaves. First mechanic here, lower realm. This is going to be a raid wide. Okay. Whoa. Shuri chakra. So there's a bunch of circles here, right? So clearly this is going to be a circle AoE here, but we've got all these safe spots like in between each ring, and so ideally you kind of just adjust yourself a little bit so you're on one of the clear spots on the rings. And like if you've got difficulties with noticing the different colors and stuff, this one might be a little tricky, but do know that there is like a ring that's safe, and then a ring that's not, and then a ring that's safe, and then a ring that's not. So you have a bit of time to dodge this. Okay. Cutting Jewel, so that's a tank buster here. Ephemerality. Okay, so there's a bunch of slices, right? Like there's a lot of animation going on here, and essentially wherever these like mini boss shadow glowy thingies are, there's gonna be circle AoEs. And so what I kind of look for is I look for like a crowd of them. So there's like what, like maybe two here, there's one here, and there's one here. So this side and this side's probably not going to be safe, but I don't see any over here. And I'm not super sure about up there, but I think over here might be okay. Like that's what I think about when the animation is starting to go off. And there we go. So I adjust my camera, and then I can see, oh yeah, so there is these like spokes in the ground here, basically. And there's nothing on this side, and it doesn't seem like there's anything over there. And so the north and south areas look like they're going to be safe. So I adjust over here, and then there you see that. So like this animation makes it seem like it's going to be line AoEs, but they're actually going to be circle AoEs. Oh, dang it. I'll get it. There we go. So they are pretty wide. Here, here, and here, and here. So like this, there was a big spot in the back here, and this, I guess technically this isn't south, like from my camera view it seems like it, but this is like southwest, and then up here would be like northeast. And so it's relative to wherever these are sent out onto the stage. Okay, so but it does seem like there's gonna be two safe spots, one on one side, one directly across from it, but the middle is not going to be safe. So when the attack is going out, I look for a clump of the ads, and then I adjust my camera so I can see where there's a gap, and I'll go to that spot. And if you get hit, it looks like you get hit a decent amount and you get a Vuln stack. Ideally, you don't want to get hit with 2 of them. Okay, with this move, it's a big glowy effect here, and this bigger version of the boss is like moving backwards. See over there? There we go. There's like this huge version of the boss. You can't really miss this. Okay, so we're gonna get some mechanics where the main boss is gonna do something, and then there's gonna be like a tether, and then the bigger one is going to do the same thing. And so we can anticipate what the moves will be by understanding that it's just a copy of the same move. Okay, so here, this move, Iconography Pedestal Purge. Yo, I'm not gonna remember the name of that, but I see a circle AoE here, so I know I gotta get outside, okay? And then there's this glowing kind of tether going from this boss to the bigger version. So that's basically gonna save the attack, okay? So we got a circle AoE. There, so you see all this like aether stuff, energy stuff going towards the big version. Okay, also if you get hit with the circle AoE, you take damage, and like that looks like a lot of damage, and you also take another Vuln stack. So we had a circle AoE, and then here, Iconic Execution, so now the bigger version of the boss is going to do the move. And here it is. It looks like it's a front cleave in front of the room, but you can imagine it as because the move from this boss was a circle AoE like this, you can imagine the big boss, the version over here, is going to be a really huge AoE around the bigger version. Okay, and so if it's going to be a huge AoE around the big version, that means it's going to cleave this front part, because the middle point of the big boss over here is right here, and so this entire thing's going to get cleaved. And so that means we want to stay away from the front side, so we want to stand further back. Iconography Wheel of Deincarnation. Okay, so this one says wheel. Okay, and so it is still a circular type thing, but this is a donut AoE. You know how wheels have like the middle part with a hole or has something in it, so then you can attach a thing, so then it can work as a wheel. So there, we have a donut AoE. So we stand inside the hitbox. Actually, we have a little bit of extra room. You just want to stand closer to the hitbox. Sometimes donut AoEs will be just as small as the hitbox, sometimes they're a little bit more. So this one we have a little bit more space. But there's the glowing tether thing again, and so that means eventually the bigger version of the boss is going to do this move too. So when we see this, we go into the donut, close to the hitbox. And then, see all this stuff's going towards the big boss. So now, Iconic Execution, now the big boss is going to do the move. And here we go. Our safe spot is now close to the big boss because the big boss is essentially doing a donut AoE. Okay. I know this doesn't look great, but it's kind of like this. Okay. It's a big donut AoE around the big boss. You just can't see most of it because it's like all the way off the stage and stuff. But this AoE over here is the outer ring of the donut AoE. Okay, if it's like this, there'd be a big old ring like that. And so we want to move closer to the big boss to stand in their donut AoE. There we go. You could kind of see the angle of that too. I'll try to catch it. You can kind of see it. See how it's like kind of going like this? This green effect is not like making my point be more. But yeah, so like this. See how it's like circular? Like this. And so this is the donut part. This is the safe part. Okay. Alright. Iconography blade-wise, this is a line AoE. And so, and then we've got the tether to the big boss here, right? You see the energy going over there? So we're gonna get a bigger version of this after. So dodge the line AoE, and then now it will take a moment to give you time to adjust, and then iconic execution, the execution part. So this one's gonna do the attack, and it's gonna do a line AoE. And because it's a bigger version of the boss, it's a bigger line AoE, okay? So you got the sides you can hang out in. Also at this point, notice we've got some blue stuff, so you don't want to stand in that. Alright, and you take some damage here from getting hit with all that. Has this blue stuff been here the whole time? Hang on. Oh. Yeah, I guess. Okay. So you can't fall off the stage, but the blue stuff is there. Do you die if you stand in it? I didn't test this. Oh no. Let's see what happened over here. Okay, someone got hit. MA. Did they instantly die or did they walk into the thing? Oh, well, they had 3 bone stacks, so they probably got hit with it and died like that. MA. Oh yeah, they were still in the. They probably got clipped by it. Okay, well, yeah, that's that. We'll see it again. These mechanics. 6-bladed Kachka. This one's probably the more difficult of the mechanics. And so here we've got a telegraph of a cleave, and there's this tiny little like 1 blue purple dot. Okay, so it's 1. And then here's another telegraph, and this one has 2 red ones. So this is the second cleave. And then here's another cleave, and this one has 3. And so you can see that this is telling you what order these cleaves are gonna go through. And it's called 6-bladed Kachka, so it's gonna happen 6 times, right? You can't really see it here because of my party box, but this one has 5. Right? And then 6. If you haven't seen these before, the red ones are even numbers and the blue ones are odd numbers. But I will play it out so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll just describe how I kind of figure it out. I was hanging out with my cat earlier, and so my allergies are kind of acting out. Okay, so how I handle this is I look at where the first one will be, and I kind of just stand behind the boss. From what I've seen, I've run this maybe twice, it seems like the back of the boss is always clear, and so I just stay back here. And then so I'm like, okay, so the first part is gonna be the front side, and then it's gonna be this side. And so I'm going to choose my first safe spot, and it's gonna be over here. If I stand right here, I will be out of the way of the first hit and the second hit. So I don't have to worry about 2 hits. So I stand here, I'm kind of just thinking, okay, we'll see what happens after the second hit. Okay, so after the second hit, the third hit is going to be where I'm standing, and so that means it's going to hit once, it's going to hit twice, 1, 2, and then I'm going to move over. So I wait 2 and then I move over. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Okay, so 3 is on this side, and then over here 4 is in the front. Okay, and so now I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna stand here. 1 is gonna hit, 2 is gonna hit, I'm gonna move over, 3 is gonna hit, 4 is gonna hit, so I can just stand over here for 2. So I wait 2 hits, and then I move, and then I wait 2 hits, and then, okay, and then it's gonna go over here, and I'm standing there, so I'm gonna move over. So I wait 2 hits, I move, I wait 2 hits, I move. And then the last one, oh, the last one is gonna be where I'm at, and so I'm gonna wait 2 hits, and then move, and then wait 2 hits, and then move, and then wait 1 hit, and then move again. Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking while this is going off. Really, I'm not thinking about the numbers. I'm thinking of the visual aspect of it because I'm a visual person. So here, okay, I'm thinking 1, like, okay, the first one went off, and then I'm expecting this side to go off. So I'm expecting to see the visual of that. And then now I move myself over there, and then I expect to see this one or this one go off. I don't necessarily remember because my short-term memory is pretty bad, but I'm like, okay, I just know that I'm gonna see 2 of them, and they're gonna rotate around me, and then I'm gonna move over. Okay, and then I remembered the very last one is gonna be over here, and so I'm gonna run back. I say my short-term memory is like bad, but then I did manage to do that. So it really depends on how you can remember it. Like, if you remember the numbers, then remember the numbers. If you remember things through shapes, then you can think, okay, this is safe, and then this is safe, and then this is safe. So it's here, here, here. I don't know if other people think like that, but that's kind of what I think. Or you can just remember the actual things. Okay, 2 hits, and then I move over there. Or you can remember the actual numbers of these things. So after the 2 red ones, then I move over, and then after the 5 blue, you move over. I don't know, like, I'm trying to come up with different ways people might think about it. It's kind of hard for me because I don't think like that, but yeah, so this is like the 5 dot one. Yeah, so it'd be 2, 5. Move over after 2. 4. And you move after, oh, okay, then you move after 4 and after 5. So, okay, I'm gonna try this. If this is how you think in terms of like numbers, it's 1, it's 2, so 2 is even and it's red. I move, okay, I'm standing here. So I'll move after 2. And then 4 was up here, and I would have to move after that one too. I also. Just 1, 2, and then I move over. 3, 4 is an even number, so I walk over. And then 5 is the last one I walk over. I don't know. Figure it out. I hope not just figure out as in like good or anything, but I mean, you know, that's how the mechanic works, and however it is that you understand like remembering it, then that's something that every individual needs to figure out for themselves, because I don't know how other people think. For me, again, I think of it visually. I'm waiting for 2 slashes and I move, 2 slashes and I move. And this is reliant on the fact that I've pre-positioned myself for the first hit. And then I just try to trust myself that I remembered like how many hits it takes, and then I move. Okay, moving on. The Face of Wrath. on the stage, we're gonna get the stage split up into a blue side and a red side, and there's like an angry face on both sides, like this. And then in front of the screen, you're gonna get like this huge glowing head, and whatever color that is, that's the side that's gonna blow up. And so you want to stand on the opposite color. And so right now is the red orange one, and so that means I want to stand on the blue side. Okay, see, so it blew up. Alright, next up we have myriad aspects. So there's cones going out everywhere. So you want to pre-position yourself in a safe spot, because right after this telegraph there's going to be another telegraph. And so if you don't move quickly enough, you might not be able to figure out where the first safe spot was. But also, if you get into a situation where you don't figure out where the first safe spot is, you can just like stand next to someone else and hope that they knew the spot. Okay, so the first one goes off, and then the second one's about to go off. So after the first one goes, then you want to move into the safe spot. Okay, so cones are out, move into the safe spot. The second one will show up, first one blows up, moving into the first spot, and then you should be safe. If you get hit with that, yeah, you take a bit of damage. This person also had a bunch of Vuln stacks though. So you take a bit of damage and you get a Vuln stack, and it looks like, yeah. This is like, this just came out yesterday or the other day or something, and so, you know, everyone's gear is going to be kind of closer to the minimum item level. I think you can go even lower than that, but in any case, like, it's still a fresh fight, and so that's why the damage done is a little bit harder. But yeah, you get a lot of bone stacks here if you get hit with stuff. Okay, Blade Scatter. This one is mechanically, it is, I think, simple to understand, but execution wise it can be a little difficult to finagle with. And so here we get these line AoEs, and they will fan out, and they go in a particular direction, and they'll just keep circling around. The thing is, like, see how I'm crossing through the center to try to get, I'm trying to get to this side. The clipping in here is very tight, and so you can get hit real quick. See, it didn't seem like I was in anything, but because I ran through the middle, I got hit with this thing. I got a Vuln stack from that. So it happens pretty quickly, so you have to react pretty quickly. Like, as you can see here, that the line AoE itself goes through enough. It's like it seems like it goes halfway through, but it's not directly on the actual median line of the hitbox. Let me rethink how to explain this, because the circle of the hitbox is a circle, and so everything that goes through it basically will have it will be like through the center, right? It will be aligned in its own way because it's a circle. Geometry. But the situation is, because it's fanned out like this, if you accidentally step in just like one of them, there's a higher chance of stepping into the one that's about to blow up, because this happens so fast. And so trying to dodge it by running through the hitbox is like kind of dangerous, but trying to outrun this thing is also kind of dangerous, you know? Look at how many people are like kind of, well, there's not too many people dead, but yeah, let's go back. Okay, never mind, that person was already dead. I just know, like, I assumed I could just run straight through like I normally do to dodge things, but clearly I needed to go more over here and then run over there. But I was just trying to like get over there as fast as I could, but this cast went by really quickly, well, a lot quicker than I thought it would, and so I got clipped with the thing. And then, but yeah, mechanically, okay, yeah, see, this person got hit multiple times as they were trying to run through. mechanically, it is that there's an AoE, and then the AoEs will keep fanning out, and then they'll keep blowing up in a circular fashion, and you just have to dodge that. But like I said, the trick is through the execution of it because it's kind of fast. Oh, this person managed to do it really well. The scholar. So you'll see here. They're raising somebody, and they're here, and they end up going around like this. See them? They're right here. They're able to, they're kind of like hugging the hitbox around here, and they're able to dodge all this stuff. So, yeah, I think that's a safer way to do it. Like, don't run in the hitbox like at all if you can, just so you don't accidentally get clipped with one of these. But running along the edge of it is fine. And then this person was running into the glowy stuff that just blew up, and they were also fine. Okay, so it seems like it does it a full 360. Okay, lower realm is the raid wipe. Okay. Okay. Pedestal purge. So we got the circle AoE and the line going to the big boss. And so get out of the circle AoE. But in this phase, iconic execution, okay. The big boss can potentially move. Yeah, so the big boss disappeared. And there was this whoosh of light behind me that went this way. And so that means the boss is right behind me. And so that means I have to run away because, like I said before, the circle AoE is going to be hitting close to the big boss, okay? Wherever the big boss happens to be. So if the boss is here, the bigger one, the circle AoE would be in front like this. And so we have to run away to the safe spot, away from the big boss. But because the big boss moved over here, the big boss ends up over here. Then the circle AoE ends up being like this. And so we have to run this way. So you can kind of see there's this like slight animation of glowing stuff that went by the camera. I don't know if you can see that. I'll replay it again, so just look out for that. Right now, see it like kind of glows, this thing, it was glowing outwards. And so because it was going that direction, I knew it was behind me. I also don't see it over here. I don't see the boss over here, and I didn't see the boss over there. Well, my camera wasn't really showing that side, but I was relying on the glowing thing. Yeah, because like I could kind of see over here, but it was because of this whoosh of like air that I realized it was right behind me. So I ran forward to get away from the circle AoE because it's gonna hit right here. So there we go. See, it was in the back there. Okay. Iconography, blade-wise, is the line AoE. And so that means wherever the boss is later, there's going to be a huge line AoE going through the center of the stage. And so now we know the big boss can switch to different sides of the stage, right? And so you have to be on the lookout for wherever the boss moves. So I pre-positioned myself. I backed it up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be able to see if the boss shows up right behind me, right here. Like if there's a boss right here, or over here, or if I don't, or it could stay. Or if I don't see it here, here, or here, it's probably over here. And so I gave myself enough space to see like 3 different sides of the stage. And, you know, this is because I'm a range player. I was playing Machinist, so I'm able to kind of move farther out. If you're a melee player, then, you know, you could adjust your camera however you can. I think you could still get enough of an angle of the stage to be able to see like at least 2 sides, or you can turn your camera a lot more when you're rotating around doing positionals and stuff. Okay, so the boss changes. Okay, see, there's that whoosh over there, and so I know the boss is right behind me. See this like glowing stuff? So I know the boss is behind me, and so there's gonna be a line AoE like this. So I move off to the side, and as I'm running, I'm confirming where the boss is at, and so that I can run even further out to the correct side, because it's a circle, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know exactly where the boss is gonna show up behind me, but yeah, there we go. So there's the line AoE, and then I'm off to the side. Okay, Wheel of Deincarnation. So there's the donut AoE with the little glowy thing tether, and so go into the donut and then watch for wherever the boss, the big boss, moves to. I ran close to where the big boss was, just so that I could remember, and also so I could see the rest of the stage. Okay, so it was all the way over here, and since it was a donut AoE, that means around the boss is going to be the safe spot, because the outside is going to get the cleave, and so that means I need to run over there. And see, even though I was all the way across the stage, I did have enough time to run all the way over. But if you are concerned about being able to do that, then I don't recommend that, because like I ran towards where the boss is, and it's likely that the boss isn't gonna disappear and reappear at the same spot from what I've seen of the fight. And so you could just stay closer to the center, so you can go this way or that way faster. But I did it like this so that I could get more of a wide angle of the footage, for footage's sake. But like I said, the boss is over here, and even though I was the furthest one away, I had enough time to run all the way over. So as soon as you see where the boss is, you have time to run into the safe spot, as long as you're reacting as soon as you see the boss. Okay. Alright, 6-bladed Kajka thing again. So 1, 2, so I stay here for the first safe spot. 3, okay, so after the second one, that means I gotta move over. 4 is in the front. 5 is gonna be here. Okay, so 5, so I already moved over in my mind. So after the 4th one, I'm gonna have to move back over, because I don't want to get hit with the 5th one. Okay, and then, okay, all 6 is over here, so that means I'm gonna have to move over again. So it's kind of similar to the first time we had it. So 1, 2, move over. 3, 4, move over. 5, move over. 6 again. So with this, I could have moved over even faster, but I like to just stay still if I can, to kind of maintain my memory of what's supposed to happen. So it's 1 hit, 2 hits, and then I move. 3, so technically 3 here, like I could have moved over at this point, but in my head I visualize 2 slashes, so I'm waiting for the second slash, and then I go over, and then I see 1, and then I'm like, yeah, and then 1 happens, and then I move over again, because then the other one's gonna happen right underneath me. Okay, so like I said, that's how I visualize it. I think 1 slash, 2 slash, I move. 1 slash, 2 slash, I move. one slash, I move, and then the last slash. But yeah, you gotta find a way for your own mind to process all that. Mechanically, again, this is probably the last time we're gonna see it in this run. Mechanically, it will show you where the first one is, it will show you the second one, and show you all the other ones, and you gotta pick your first safe spot and adjust into the rest of them. So do whatever makes more sense. Like, so for these people, it looks like they waited for the first one to slash, and then they walked into it, and then they waited for the next one to slash, and then walked to that side. And I want to say it seems like it can work, but you can see it's kind of a bit more risky if you're running around so much. So I don't recommend that unless you're super confident that you can remember where all the slashes are. Like, for me, you know, I noticed that all of these, like, because I'm just standing in the back, right? I noticed that there's never a cleave that hits all of the back. So I almost never have to go to the front north side of this area. I'm only adjusting left and right from behind the boss, and that makes it a little bit easier for me. And you know, I want to say like melee might have their positionals, but even if it's for positionals, you can still stand just in the back. Okay, so I feel like it's a little bit more risky to follow the slashes, but that's also because I can't remember the order very well. Alright. But yeah, that's what you can kind of expect to see when you're running this the first time, or with other people for the first time. Right. Tricky stuff. Many faces. This is the one with the blue and red sides of the stage, and then you're going to get one big color. So we got the blue one, that means the blue side's going to blow up, and so we want to stand on the red side. The face of delight. So the blue side blew up. Myriad aspect. So we've got the cones. So go into the first safe spot, wait for the first one to blow up, and then run into that spot. Okay. So we've got some people with circle AoEs here, so we want to spread those out, but we've got this Ashuri chakra thingy that we saw at the beginning of the fight, where it's a bunch of circle, there's a circle AoE in the middle, and then a bunch of rings, and so you want to find the safe ring. And as I'm a range player and I happen to have the AoE, I try to run further out to give the melee people more space to like dodge stuff. Okay, so the AoEs go off and then the rings go off. So after the AoE goes off, make sure you're not moving just yet, or else you'll get hit with the bigger circle rings. See, so the pink stuff goes off first, the ordered chaos thing, and then the other rings. Lower realm is the raid wipe. Ephemerality? I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, so this is the one that's the crisscross, but it's actually the circle AoEs. So I look for a bunch, like a group of them, and I try to adjust away from them. I saw that there was a gap up here, so I'm running up that way. There we go, see? It goes like this, like this, like this. So we've got a gap in the back and the front that you can go to. And yeah, if you're gonna get hit with any of these on accident, it's better to get hit with one, so just make sure you're not standing in like this part, or definitely this part is not great because you're gonna get hit with 3, or this part. So just don't go in between like any of them, you know what I'm saying? like, if you're running through, like if you're not certain, you're standing here, you're not certain, then you can run this way or that way. Then there's a chance you'll just get hit with one, but don't run into the whole pile of them, you know, or else you'll probably die. Well, depending on your gear level, but yeah. Okay, well, this person, did they have... They had full health. Well, they had okay health. Okay. MA. Okay, so they were already kind of back in, they ran through. And so, did they get hit with 2? Oh yeah, they got hit with 2. Okay, so that was the point I was trying to make. If you're uncertain and you're gonna end up running through, hopefully you'll just run through and get hit with one, but they happen to run through like this, and so they got hit with this part, which is the small overlap of 2 of the circles, and so they got hit with 2 of them, and then they died. See, they were like right there, and then you see it's got 2 vulnerability, and so that means they got hit twice. So that was very unlucky. I think you can get away with getting hit with just 1, but definitely not 2 then. And then definitely if you get hit with 3, you're not going to survive that if just getting hit with 2 is that situation. Alright. Blade Scatter. So this is the one with the line AoE, and it circles around. I'm trying to like get far away from the outside there. And then you gotta follow it in a circle around. Alright, Cutting Jewels, the tank buster, so make sure you mitigate for that. Okay, so we got the donut AoE, and so that means the big boss is gonna do also a donut AoE. And we gotta figure out where the big boss teleports to. So I move further to the side so I can see the stage better. Okay, so now I run towards the big boss because it's a donut AoE. Okay, line AoE. So I dodge out of this initial line AoE, and then I'm standing further back so I can see where the big boss moves to. So you see from this angle, I can still see the big boss kind of. I can see this side, and I can kind of see this side, and I can see this side in the back. So it's the benefit of being a range player. Like, I can see the mechanics a little bit better. Which is usually why I try to play range when I'm getting footage for these guides. But yeah, so I see it over here, and you can kind of see the whooshing of glowy stuff going over this way. And from here, I'm actually already in position for this attack, and so I can just kind of stay on this side for the line attack, right? So it's the outsides that are safe, because this is a line AoE through the circle stage. But yeah. Okay, and then we got the circle AoE, so we get out of that, and then we would just repeat all that. Cool. We did it. I hope everyone is having a good new year, or at least decent, or at least not bad. And I hope that was useful for this stuff. Again, I have started making high-end content raid videos on a separate channel. So if you're interested in that, I've got it posted in my post area. Like, I've done the extreme fights and stuff already. So if you want to dip your toes into doing extreme fights, I have videos for that. And the next time I'll be posting on this channel will likely be when the next expansion comes out, because I don't think there's going to be any other trials or dungeons coming out until then. At least I don't think so. I don't know, I haven't really kept up on the news or anything, but I think the patch content is done for Endwalker. And so there's likely not going to be new, like, fights and things like that. So I will see you in the summer, I guess. Bye!